Howdy folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Suzerain, a safe space in which we are awesome, where it's come to my attention recently that my microphone has been it's been blown out a little bit. I've been getting a little too loud, and it's been, getting a little bit, grainy, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. So I've reduced the gain on my microphone, I've lowered the volume, so I'm going to be a little quieter. Hopefully I come through clearer, though, that I don't sound too, bad, right? That's the goal. I don't want to sound too bad. Now, I don't think I've solved the problem, but I hopefully have alleviated it. So, let's just jump right in. I know you guys are excited to figure out what's going on in the whole sword here. I need to address the national speech. Address to the nation speech. Whatever. Lucian and I walked into my office in the Maroon Palace to make my address to the nation speech. It was unusually crowded today. Cameras, lights, and microphones were set in place, and the crew was standing by, ready to start filming. Alright, so, we did our popularity stunt with the whole church thing. I did it properly. I'm just gonna hold on to that. Honestly, the notes can be infinite for all I care. Probably get the whole B-movie script on there. Are you ready, sir? I am always ready. Yes, let's do it. I'm not always ready, and I'm not, submissive. I'm ready, though. I am. Yes, let's do it. Good. I think the crew is ready. As soon as you take your seat, we will go live. I took my seat and rearranged my notes on my desk as a crew member powdered my face with a cotton puff. After everybody was ready, the director gave the sign to start filming. I looked directly into the camera. My fellow swords, brothers and sisters. Ooh, yeah, I believe in my original speech I opened with this. Brothers and sisters of Sordland. I soared to election on the winds of change that was desperately sought and called for by you, the people of Sordland. I'd like to speak about the events of the past months, about how a great historic event to give the words freedom, fairness, and hope new meaning and power. No. I'm going to tell everybody about how what I used to do is what I'm still trying to do. People desperately want change in Sordland. From the moment I was sworn in, I have done nothing but fight to achieve the change you demanded. I took office with a plan to dismantle the Sordland's ancient government structure and replace it with one that met the needs of the modern country we are today. I began my term with one goal, to transform Sordland into a modern democracy. I like number one the best. Done nothing but fight to achieve the change you demanded. However, due to circumstances beyond my control, my plans were thwarted. Alas, my vision was too grand for the narrow scope of... Nope. However, due to circumstances beyond my control, my plans were thwarted. I wouldn't say thwarted as the president of any nation. I don't know, that just feels like the wrong word, but... I mean, it's accurate. Sure, let's go. If assembly members had their way, Tarquin Sol's constitution would last until the end of time. Well, that's unfortunately the only option. I don't want to point any fingers, right? I want it to sound professional. I want to sound like... the thing that happened was bad, but we can pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and move on. I can't do that if I'm pointing fingers at an enemy. I can't have an us if there's a them, And so they spitefully acted against me, putting their own pettiness before the needs of the country. They stubbornly clung, and so they struck down my reforms with the help of Sol himself. So they spitefully acted against me, putting their own pettiness before the needs of this country. They stubbornly clung to Sordland's past, knowing it would cost us this country's future. I don't like any of these, but I think 2 is the best of the options. But I will tell you this, I am not done fighting for you. The people of Sordland, Anton Rayne, will not let himself be so easily cowed. They may have defeated me, but they will never defeat the Swordish spirit. But I will tell... I've somehow narrowed myself into a box of I'm against my own cabinet, which is a weird thing for a president to do. I don't know, that feels weird. But I'll tell you this, I'm not done fighting for you. They can kick me in the butt, but I'm gonna kick right back up. But historians shall look upon this as a minor hurdle in Sordland's path to greatness. It is time to put this setback behind us and focus on the challenges ahead. I have not given up on my commitment to equality and justice. It is time to put the setback behind us and focus on the challenges ahead. That feels the most diplomatic, but I like the third one a lot. I'm gonna pick 2, though. The future is in our hands. The future lies in the democratic movement of the West. Now, the future is in our hands. I'm not going to lean on any country in particular. With or without the Assembly's support, there is no end to what we can achieve. Together as a country, there is no end to... Yeah, that one. I took a deep breath. Lucian shooed a fly away from my forehead. Interesting. We will start by focusing on the economy. With reform now off the table, I shall keep following through on my promise to improve Sordland's education system. We will start by focusing on eliminating internal and external threats. We will start by focusing on the economy. Economy good. Money good. We will fix the good. I thank you for standing by me, your president, both in good times and bad. I'd like to thank my wife and children for standing by me. I'd like to thank my vice president for standing by me. I'd like to thank my chief strategist. I thank you for standing by me, your president, both in good times and bad. Morgna Westcor Victorn Sistat. God bless Sordland. And God bless Sordland. That is all, thank you. I salute you all with respect. God bless Sordland. The director gave the cut signal and the cameraman stopped filming. My speech was finished. I feel like this is a bad thing because, oh, the British people. But no, I feel it was good. Of the options, it was good. No news reports? Oh, it's the end of the chapter! What? Chapter 3 was short! It's probably not the end of chapter 3. That would be one hell of a short chapter, not gonna lie. Knock on wood. Knocked on wood for you. I did it, so you didn't have to. I got that accomplished. Okay, you just focus on enjoying, I'll focus on the work. Till chapter 3, I told you. Anyway, we got some news reports. We got some other reports from Rumberg. Read the report from Rumberg. Queen demands reparations for 15-day war. Queen Beatrice Livingston has called for reparations to be paid for the so-called past atrocities that occurred during the 15-day war. Rumberg demands that the price of past wrongdoings must be paid if a path to peace is opened between the two nations. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is analyzing the situation and coming up with a plan of action. Thank God, because I don't want to deal with that. Excuse me. Read the report from Vesord. Gerrymander police issue. Massive miscommunication between the interior and the gendarmerie has resulted in a failed raid of Vesord. The Ministry of Defense and Interior have both put the blame on each other. There will be a gathering soon to solve the ongoing dispute within the security. It's entirely possible we have more than just the event here, but we don't. Departure of President's son from home. Oh, he's getting into college now. Excellent. Alright, Geopolitico. Queen Beatrice demands reparations for century-old alleged war crimes. Queen of Rumberg, Beatrice Livingston, brought up the Estord incident of the 15-day war, igniting the foreign century-old debate of Sordish war crimes. She spoke about the need for peace and change in Eastern Mercopa, and that the way forward can only be walked if past atrocities are finally settled. Queen Livingston claimed that the Sordish army in 1870 had massacred ethnic Rums with plans of committing genocide. Sordland still hasn't claimed any responsibility for their past war crimes, said the Queen, and demanded reparations be paid. I mean, we can't really do that at the moment. This is possibly the worst time to do so. We'll apologize, certainly. Hundreds killed in Helgeland. According to the reports, the riots in Helgeland had already resulted in the arrest of thousands. The number of deaths is believed to have surpassed 100. Ignolian government has still not released a statement about the bloody conflict. The riots in Helgeland had exploded out of proportion in the aftermath of the murder of a Volgish Helgelander. The majority of the arrests and deaths belong to the Volgish community in the island. Governor of Helgeland claimed that the riots were being incited and supported by the Volkslandian government. Well, now they both suck. All right. Well, highway's close to being done. It's 3/4 anyway. The industrial zone is on its way. We're gonna make money soon. There's a cloudy, rainy day in Holsword. The gloomy weather echoed my own feelings. My constitutional changes had been defeated. I was back to square one. I couldn't spend the day moping, however. Frank was already about to leave home. My son piled the last of his bags next to the door. Serge and the assistant driver were waiting outside next to the car. Did you pack everything? Don't forget to give me a call immediately after you arrive. Mom, I'm moving less than an hour away. You'll see me all the time. I know, but it won't be the same. Monica helped him put his backpack on while Serge started carrying the luggage to the car. I thought I was going to say crying, and I'm like, I mean, cool, Serge, I guess. I made you a snack lunch. I'll get it from the kitchen. She dashed down the hall. Frank and I turned to face each other in the doorway. So I guess this is it. I guess it is. You're going to do great. I gave you a second chance. Don't screw this one up. No. I'm not going to be that much of an asshole, right? Like, I've tried to be, like, a good dad for the most part, you know? I told him about my hardships, and he did chill after that. But, you know, I got to make sure that I follow up on that, right? I'm trying. You're going to do great. Thanks, Dad. Frank shifted his weight nervously. I forgot when you told me about your university years. I hope Whole Sword State gives me a chance to prove myself the same way you did. Yeah, you know, this is an opportunity. I mean, like, you don't always get opportunities. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes life just sucks. You gotta make do with what you get. If you get an opportunity, make sure you make use of it. You know, don't sit on that one. For your sake, I hope that chance never comes. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't model your life on mine. You're your own man now, Frank. Not to prove yourself to anyone, especially not me. I love 4. Very good message. Mwah, beautiful. I'm gonna pick 3 though, because it fits the character more. Like if it were me saying it, I'd absolutely go with 4. But this is about Anton Rayne. Frank smiled. Frank Sinatra. All right, Dad. At that moment, Dina rushed to the door. Frank, I'm gonna miss you. I'll miss you too, don't worry. You've got to give Mom and Dad an extra hard time for both of us now. Dina nodded. Okay. Frank picked up his sister and gave her a big hug. Aww. I'm reminded of when I went off to college, and I don't have a younger sister, but I do have a niece. And she was maybe like 5 at the time. She was so sad that I was leaving. She thought she'd never see me again. Oh God, it was so sad, and she cried at one point. But anyway. Monica appeared in the doorway, holding a paper bag. I cut the crust off your sandwich, just the way you used to like. I'm not a kid anymore, Mom. I can cut the crust off my own sandwiches. That's my favorite line. It's just like yeah, I'm not a kid. I'm going to do that thing you did for me when I was a kid, but for myself. I love that. It's such a good narrative trope. Can't a mother pretend? Oh, Frank. She embraced him with tears in her eyes. Frank looked as if he was about to cry as well. Serge approached. Sir, as per the schedule, Frank needs to be at Whole Sword State University to start his orientation in an hour. Why is your voice always different every time I see you? I'm certainly not different people pretending to be Serge. We will have to leave now to make it. Thank you, Serge. Time to go, Frank. Frank turned around and took one last look at me. Make me proud. Frank nodded before heading to the car. Serge looked at his watch. Time to go. Frank waved his hand as he entered the car. The engine started on their way. Monica stood next to me as they drove away. Her tears were... What the hell is happening with my reading comprehension today? Her eyes were teary. There he goes. It already feels different. She put her head on my shoulder. I know. You'll be fine. We still have each other. Struck her hair. He will be fine. Yeah, but what about me, you fucking asshole? I know he will. With the defeat of your reforms, I hope we will be alright. We watched for a few more minutes, even after the car was no longer in sight. Yeah, parents do that. People do that. You know, forget parents. People do that. I sighed and closed the door. The construction in Lockhaven is complete! Oh my God! The highway is done! The highway is done! Ah. Frank Rayne, the son of Anton Rayne and Monica Rayne. He studied at the Holsword Markian High School and currently studies Sordland literature at Holsword State University. Yeah, you study that literature, son. Make me proud. Alright, here we go. Military. Dispute with the interior. That's not good. Your defense is in a legal dispute with the interior about the gerrymander. Alright, news. The Holsword Post. Beware of New Youth. A new militant organization named New Youth started to emerge in Holsword State University. Fuck! In the large-scale incident they were involved in, they attacked the bystanding security forces and even went so far to burn a police car. As a result of their actions, many students and members of the police forces are now injured. Exercise caution and be on the lookout for potential New Youth members. Beware the New Youth. Anyway. Summer of Love. The Summer of Love has begun. Amidst the rising unrest, a large group overtook a small farm near Dare called Treestock Farm. They are from every corner of our society. Students, lawyers, actors. They are generally dressed in floral clothing, and some were even spotted with nothing on them in an attempt at public indecency. Oh, I don't think it was an attempt. I think they succeeded. As if it is despite the current situation of our country, they are dancing the singing songs. They proclaim that peace is the message and that this summer will be the summer of love. Walk for peace. People of Lockhaven are known to be proud and just. In the action fitting their reputation, a protest group has started a long walk from Lockhaven to Holsword. Among them are old, young, and even children. The campaign is called Walk for Peace, and it wishes to bring attention to finding a middle ground to solve the increasing tensions. Bravo, Lockhaven. We hope this movement spreads to other cities as well. FC Enrica and FC Gelsord hand in hand. For the first time in their history, the sworn rivals FC Enrica and FC Gelsord. FC? Oh, it's a sports thing. Fans stood side by side against the police brutality. During the Derby March yesterday, the fans of both teams united to protest the security forces' mishandling of the recent events. Hand in hand, they created an impenetrable wall to let President Rayne know that they won't simply bow their heads to his goons. They let him know that Holsword belongs to the people and the people alone. I'm trying, man. I really am. Anyway, we got... Yes, the highway. Anyway, let me finish reading the reports and we'll get on. Hegel condemns Helgeland governor and threatens intervention. Chancellor of Volksland, Emmerich Hegel, has recently condemned the governor of Helgeland in a public statement and threatened to intervene on the island to protect the people. Ignolia went too far. They are massacring our people in Helgeland. If the Alliance of Nations allows this to continue, Volksland will intervene in the island to protect their people. This was the last straw, said Chancellor Hegel. Arcasian and United Continental governments are believed to be in close contact with both leaders to calm the situation. If the superpowers cannot find a solution, the Mercian Sea may plunge into chaos. Good, and we're right smack dab on the damn other side. Anyway, let's read about this. Large-scale protest during FC Gelsord versus FC Enrica. A foot call? Okay, a large-scale protest has broken out during the Derby match between them. Hooligans from both sides caused extensive property damage to the stadium and their protests against the police. To prevent the incident from expanding further, extra police units have been deployed. So far, there are 42 injuries and 4 burned cars outside of the stadium. Only 89 arrests were made in relation to the events. Read the report from Hellsword. I'll get to these reports in a moment. I want to take a look at the thing. Odd gathering at the tree plantation near Dare. A gathering 9,000 to 10,000 individuals is spotted in the tree plantation near Dare. First reports indicate that they are currently peaceful. More reports indicate that they are playing music until dawn and handing flowers to the police units and the security members deployed to the area. Few of them were put under arrest for public nudity. We are unsure how to proceed, and we will keep watching their movements. I mean, if they're protesting peacefully, I've always been of this opinion. If you're just there chilling, you don't have to do bad, you know. Just let them chill. I mean, maybe not naked, of course, there might be children, but let them be. Anyway, read the report from Lockhaven. Protesters walking from Lockhaven to Holsword. There to there. It's quite the walk. A new type of anti-violence protest is gaining traction in Lockhaven. The protesters said that they are going to be walking from Lockhaven to Holsword in a display of peace. We have squad cars following the crowd to ensure the safety of our citizens. Further reports will be issued if there are any updates. Yes, the H3 is finally finished. The long-awaited road network running from Lockhaven to Arvory had been completed. The spread of transportation in the region is expected to be improved substantially. Even though there have been some issues causing it to be delayed, Sordland State Corporation has delivered its promise. And without any company, malarkey, the opening of the H3 highway, Blue Mansion, Lockhaven. Oh, I should have read the reports first. They're going to pile up or disappear. The day before the grand opening ceremony of the H3 highway, we arrived in Lockhaven to begin preparations. Although the delay had taken its toll on our morale, it was still a proud moment for all of us. Lucian and I, together with project lead Simon and Lilius, met to discuss how to proceed. Lucian stood up. First of all, this day may have arrived later than expected, but it doesn't change the fact that we are here now. This is still a big success. Congratulations, everyone. It's to more projects like this. Many more. Well done. Good work. We couldn't have done this without our excellent team. Indeed. Let's move on to our plans for the opening tomorrow. It's been a long time since the last successful infrastructure project. From a public relations viewpoint, we can certainly capitalize on the occasion. I have a plan for how to do this. The President himself shall make the maiden voyage from Lockhaven to Arvory along with his motorcade, if he agrees, of course. What are your thoughts? I don't support anything beyond the opening ceremony. The highway speaks for itself. Image is everything, Simon. I agree this would bolster the President's reputation. I think so too, Mr. President. I agree, I'll hit the road. I prefer we just do the opening ceremony. No need for senseless spectacle. Nah, the spectacle is fantastical. Let's hit the road. Very well. It sounds good. It would display unity and strength if we were all together in this convoy. Additionally, a large crowd has been invited to the ceremony and will be watching the opening speech. Nothing like a cheerful crowd. Looking forward to it. It will be a good opportunity for exposure, like the good old campaign days. I guess we can't avoid that. Like the good old campaign days. I'm feeling nostalgic recently. Things were certainly easier back then. Yeah, absolutely. On another note, it goes without mentioning that this was a team effort. Beginning with the President, who put his trust in me, I want to thank everyone involved in the H3. Simon, you deserve the credit. After all, it was you who came up with the project. Thank you for your kind words. It truly means a good deal. The people have been waiting a long time for this. We will need to show our best face tomorrow. I'll make sure that our focus is on improving business and logistics is relayed by whatever means necessary. Alright then, we have a lot of work to do. See you in the morning. See you at the ceremony. Once again, good work everyone. It's a grand, glorious day. We dispersed to begin our individual preparations for the big day. The next morning, a stage had been erected next to the entrance of the highway in downtown Lockhaven. The weather was warm and unusually calm for the windy port city. Spirits were high. Despite Lockhaven's strong PFJP presence, a huge crowd of supporters had turned out. Lucian must have brought in some ringers. We took our places on stage. Signal for Lucian to begin the ceremony. Yeah. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. And didn't mean to make Lucian sound like a dog, but there you go. Apparently I did. A strategist dog. I gave Lucian the green light, and the opening address began. Brothers and sisters of Sordland, I welcome you Lockhaveners today as a proud servant of this country. Lucian's voice echoed in the square next to the highway. Hundreds of Sordland and USP flags began to wave as the cheers intensified. Without further ado, I invite the president of Sordland to the stage. Walk up to the podium. Hey, Macarena. I walked to the podium and to address the crowd. Cameras flashed around me. This is just like my high school graduation, except, there's no cameras there. I just went on the stage, put my arms in the air, and yelled, "Woo!" No one cared. Lockhaveners, welcome to the opening ceremony of the H3 Highway. Citizens, people of Sordland. Lockhaveners. No, people of Sordland. The chanting from the crowd continued. At the beginning of this journey, we promised jobs and opportunity. We kept our promise. Trust me, our work is far from over. The project is only the beginning. Aha! Always working. We promised jobs and opportunity. And we kept our promise. People are going to say, no, trust me, we're far from over. This is only the beginning. The aim with the H3 was to create economic growth in East Nargis and England. Our intention of the H3 is to ensure citizens to an easier commute between Lockhaven and Arvory. Thanks to this highway, travel between Lockhaven and Arvory is twice as fast and infinitely more comfortable. This highway has brought and will continue to bring thousands of new jobs. None of this would be possible without the sound advice of my Interior Minister, Lilias. Ensuring the success of the project wasn't just one of my presidential goals, I made it my personal priority. I must thank the brilliant mind behind the highway project, the esteemed Minister of Economy and Tax, Simon Hall. Ensuring the success of the project wasn't just one of my presidential goals, I made it my personal priority. I definitely didn't do that. I'm going to thank Simon for this one. It's his idea. Simon walked up to me. Thanks, Mr. President. Our aim with this project was obvious, to improve the speed and efficiency of transportation. After we cut that ribbon and drive on the highway, you can judge our success for yourself. Simon continued to speak about how this project was a stepping stone towards a Sordish economic recovery. Yeah, we fucking need it, my dude. After he was done with his speech, Lucian took Simon's place on the stage to close the ceremony. Citizens of Lockhaven, there you have it. As promised, Anton Rayne, the 4th president of Sordland, has delivered. We walked towards the entrance of the highway next to the stage. A 40-meter-long red ribbon stretched across it. This is a weird thing for a highway. Simon handed me a pair of oversized scissors. Cut the ribbon. I cut the ribbon, triggering a huge wave of cheers from the crowd. The cameras flashed again. Congratulations to all. Hopefully this is one of many successes to come. It was a good moment indeed. It gives us pride as a nation. One big step forward. Your car is ready. The drive to Arvory should take about 4 hours. We'll be right behind you in the motorcade. Enter the car. Dude, I'm gonna drive the hell out of this car. Entered the car and sat in the driver's seat. The crowd was trying to catch a glimpse of me through the window. What do you want to travel with, Mr. President? Lucian, come with me. I want to have Simon in the lead car. I'll take Lilius with me. I'll drive the car on my own. This is Simon's big day, but man, Lucian, slide into my DMs, my dude. Thank you, Mr. President. It was a good opportunity to talk about the reforms. It will be a good... I revved the engine. Lucian waved at the press photographers as I drove us onto the new highway. The new highway was in pristine condition. The ride to Arvory was the smoothest I've ever had. Can we see the highway now? Oh, yeah, we can, baby. Is it gonna be a red line in the future? Highway. Yeah, it's gonna be a red line. Soon, very soon. After an uneventful 4 hours, we were welcomed by a throng of Arvory citizens and Mayor Eric Neal. As soon as we left, the highway opened to the public and thousands began using it. It was a great victory for my administration. Yes! Red line, baby! Dude, it's so good to see that. Oh, I've waited for so long to see that line. I attended the opening of the H3 highway. Oh, I've waited for so long to see that line. President Rayne opens the long-awaited H3 highway. At the grand ceremony, President Rayne has declared the H3 highway open with his aides by his side and executives from Sordland State Corporation. After the ribbon cutting, he has delivered a heartfelt speech and brought attention to the capabilities of the administration. Following the opening speech, President Rayne has driven his own car on the new highway for the first time. Even though the H3 highway is overdue, the fact that it is expected to boost the output of England region cannot be denied. Thus, it has been happily welcomed by the citizens. Sordland State Corporation finally finishes the H3 highway. Sordland State Corporation, or SSC, has finally finished the construction of the H3 highway, leaving much to be desired in terms of accuracy, quality, and punctuality. We're unsure why the president decided to pick a company other than Underhill Construction for a task of this scale. Following the opening speech, President Rayne has driven his own car on the new highway for the first time. The H3 highway is expected to boost the output of England region, and it has been happily welcomed by the citizens, though late as it may be. However, whether the president can witness the fruits of his labor during his term is yet to be seen. Economists predict that most of the benefits can only be seen in the upcoming years. Ooh, vote for me. Alright, well, we got some shit to do, but let me just first take a look. Economy. Average transportation links. The infrastructure investment by the government has slightly recovered the transportation network connections. We're still at -4 and 1, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to read one last thing here and then get a move on. New report from the Conrian. Intelligence report, Sordland might be preparing for a major invasion. Military intelligence has reported a massive buildup of landing vehicles and Navy ships at a port of Welburn and Sordland. Our agents are suspecting a massive naval military invasion of Helge Island or Agnolia in the future. It's not fully confirmed, as the buildup could be a mock-up exercise to divert eyes from elsewhere. Our covert agents will monitor the situation on the ground for as long as possible. Right, but that'll have to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I'm Keywii. You've been great too, and yourself a delightful day. We finally got the highway. We finally got the highway. We finally got the highway from Benfey to Avery to Dare to wherever that is, Morna. We finally got the red line on the road, on the map, it's the highway. Yeah, and it would have been railway or electric railway. We don't have electric railway anywhere, in fact, so the fact that it's on the key at all means that it's just like, oh yeah, that's a choice. But, you know, we don't have that as an option. Anyway, that'll be it for this one. I love each and every one of you. Goodbye.